Hello everyone, welcome to Knitting with Sherri. I'm going to show you how to bind off as to knit and bind off as to purl. We're going to start with our purl side. So you want to make sure your working yarn is in front. And so you're going to work with 2 stitches at a time. So when you first start, you're going to purl 2, because we're purling bind off first. So now you have 2 stitches on your right, and you're going to take your left needle and you're going to insert your left needle into that first stitch. At this time, you're going to make sure that you're holding your working yarn and your right needle down together. As you pull up on that first stitch, you're going to go over the second stitch and over the tip of your needle. And the reason you're holding that working yarn down is so that second stitch does not slip off the point of your right needle. All right, and then pull it off the left needle. So there you go, you've bound off 1 stitch. Let's do it again. Our working yarn's in front because we're doing a purl bind off. We need 2 stitches, so you purl off 1. We have 1 on our right already. Take your left needle in as to purl and take your working yarn and hold it down as you pull that first stitch over the second stitch and off the point of that needle. Okay, slipping it off the left needle at the end. Okay, there's 1 stitch on your right needle. We're going to purl another one. Working yarn's in front. Okay, we're going to put our left needle into that first stitch in front of that first stitch. Hold your working yarn down and bring your first stitch over the second stitch and over the point of that needle. And then take that left needle out of there. So there's 1 stitch on the right needle. We'll purl another one. Just purl that stitch. Okay. Slip it off, and then you have 2 on the right needle. Insert your left needle into the first stitch, keeping your working yarn pulled down so that second stitch don't fall off that right needle. You want, at this point, you're taking the first stitch over the second stitch and off the point of that needle. Okay, again, purl, always working with 2 stitches. We have 2 stitches on our right needle. Left needle goes into the first stitch. Hold your working yarn down with your right needle, pull up on that first stitch and go over that second stitch and off the point of the needle. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to bind off as to knit. Okay, so take your yarn to the back. We already have 1 stitch on, so we don't have to do 2 stitches for the knit. We're going to use the one from the purl. Okay, so we are knitting, so working yarn in back. We're going to knit, bind off. Okay, knit that second stitch. Okay, now on the right needle you have 2 stitches. Take the first stitch over that second stitch, holding your working yarn down as you do it. Take it over the point of that needle and let go. Okay, so the left needle is doing pretty much all the work. So again, we knit because we have 1 on our right already. We want another one, so there's 2 stitches on our right needle. Take the left needle and go under that first stitch. Hold your working yarn down as you pull the first stitch over the second stitch and off the point of that right needle. Again, knit 1 stitch. You have 2 stitches. Left needle goes under that first stitch. Hold your working yarn down as you pull over that second stitch and off the needle. Again, knit. You have 2 stitches on the right needle. Left needle goes in, first stitch. Working yarn is held. Take the first stitch over the second stitch and off your needle. Again, as to knit. We have 2 stitches on our right needle. Insert left needle into the first stitch. Hold your working yarn down. Take that first stitch over that second stitch and off that right needle. And there you have it. So at this point, if you're finished, you will take and cut your yarn. And you will put that piece through. And you will pull it tight. Or you'll pull your little thing down until you get a knot there at the end. And what you'll do is you'll take and weave that into your work. You may even have to cut it shorter if your work's short, but if it's longer, you may want it longer. And I haven't showed you the weaving yet, but I will. Okay, so let's look at it. Okay, on the top, it looks the same all the way across. Looks real nice edge there, the bind off edge. And the only reason it's twisting right now is because we did purl and we did knit. Okay, so let's kind of look at this. It's twisted on the purl side. You can't really see like the top part of it, like over here. You can only see the purl, okay? But on the knit side, you can clearly see the bind off. But on the, if we turn this around on that purl side, you can see now on the, it's knit side on this side, and you can see that bind off. And here's the purl. And the only reason it's twisting because we did both on the same thing. But actually, if you were to do knit all the way across, it'd be straight, or purl all the way across. But it's going to lean to one side or the other. So, but on the top, this is what it looks like. Just like that. It looks very nice and neat. If you were to straighten it out. I don't know if you can see that, but I hope you enjoyed this. If you want to shoot me a comment or give me a thumbs up or down, whichever you choose. And I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned a lot. And this will help you finish the work that you've completed. And thank you so much.